Are you in search of an institution with quality learning facilities and a conducive study environment? An institution where character and academic formation is upheld with morals? One where students are encouraged to harness their skills and talent? An institution that provides facilities for sound intellectual and character building? An institution with zero tolerance for sexual harassment, exam malpractice, drugs and other vices? A university though owned by the Catholic Church but open to all faith and creed. An institution with sound professors and lecturers. A university in partnership with international universities. Then, Veritas University is the place to be.
Welcome to Veritas University of Abuja. This is our weekly television program on academic excellence. This program seeks to talk about the values of academic excellence. Today in our studio we have Engineer Obumneme Ofo, who is the head of ICT unit. And then we also have Dr. Joe Essien, head of Department of Computer Science, who is also the chairman Veritas University of Nigeria Online Education Committee. Gentlemen, you are welcome to our studio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Unfortunately, I can't even shake you because of where we find ourselves. Now, are you thinking that this will continue, or will there still be a time where we have to shake our friends and hug again?
Well, from the information we are getting, the vaccine is being worked out for COVID-19.
Okay.
So we are hoping that that vaccine will come out and also the cure, so that we can now go back to a normal
life.
Because we cannot continue like this forever.
We hope so. You're welcome. So today we are looking at the importance of ICT in educational excellence. And we want to look at what your departments are doing to prepare the students to fit into ICT values, even when they leave this school, because it's becoming obvious that education, in fact life generally, will never be the same. ICT, ICT, ICT. Let me start with you, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to commend the Vice Chancellor, Professor Hyson. He's been very, very visionary. Right from the time that he came here, his major focus was to improve IT infrastructure within the university, even before the COVID-19 issue started. Okay. He has started discussing with the ICT department, with the CIT department, computer science. That the CIT is the computer science and information technology, and the ICT is the unit that takes care of all infrastructure and the servers and the configuration of the university. That was his vision. So before COVID started, he already started making sure that we get all the facilities we need, like the solar panels, like the servers that we need to upgrade, like the networking we need to expand. He's been already on it. So when this COVID now started, it became easier for us within the university because most of the infrastructures that we needed, we're already on the process of being provided for the university.
Okay, so like the man who saw tomorrow, that's your Vice Chancellor.
Yes.
So will you say that Veritas University is set to impart adequate ICT knowledge on the students so that when they leave here, they can compete favorably with their counterparts elsewhere in the world?
Okay, thank you. Just like Dr. Essien said, ICT, having an ICT-driven university has been in the blueprint of the university. Okay. It was in the master plan of the proprietors. And whatever we've been doing, we've already had ICT at the front line, even at the forefront, even when it has to do with course registration, GS courses. Students get special ICT training besides their regular curricula. They already have extra courses on ICT. You will have the infrastructure on campus. I mean, this is a university that can boast Wi-Fi, open Wi-Fi all over the campus. Students will have internet access from in their classrooms, even in their hostels, 24 hours non-stop. So our current management has been very supportive. As the university base increases, we expand the bandwidth to accommodate everyone. And one of the things we've been able to achieve is ensuring that before you come in, you expect you to have your laptops and the rest of it. And we've also have deployed computers, hundreds of computers in strategic places. We have the computer lab, we have the CBT center, we have the e-learning lab. So the infrastructure we have ensures that people have access to ICT infrastructure.
When you say you before you come in, you are encouraged to have your laptops.
Yes.
It looks like that's one of the preconditions for getting admission.
It's for you to get admitted. You have the academic requirements and you have the technical requirements.
Okay.
You know, the academic requirements expects you to have your O levels, your JAM with the JAM minimum and the rest of it. The technical requirements expects you to have the laptops.
But you don't have to be a guru in ICT before you are admitted.
It's like coming with your notebook.
Okay.
Yes.
I
so
like that.
We expect you to come with you have to come with your notebook to come and learn.
Okay.
So we expect you to come with your laptop to come and learn, so that it will be easy. You can easily adapt to what we have on ground. Once you come in, you get connected to the university Wi-Fi. We have thousands of e-resources. Okay. We have thousands of databases, and even before the COVID-19, you have more of the research databases online. Nobody really operates a physical library.
Talking of COVID-19, let me stay with you. Talking of COVID-19, how was it possible for your lecturers and students to, key into the online delivery system during the pandemic?
Okay, we were able to achieve that primarily because our current Vice Chancellor, Professor E04, when he came in, he stuck to the master plan of the university, ensuring that our ICT infrastructure is at par with Ivy League universities. We started expanding, started improving our infrastructure, and if you understand administration, things don't just get done overnight. Right. So the talks has already been done, the design process, we started training, we started staff trainings before now. In fact, before the COVID-19, within 9 months before the COVID-19, we've already done 2 staff trainings.
Wow.
For 1 week
ICT
each.
Development.
Yes, on ICT. First one was in October last year, second one was around January, February, and each of them was for 1 week. Okay. So we've already started training staff. Nobody anticipated COVID-19.
Right.
Yes, but we've already done that. Then we've done we usually do for the students the few weeks when they resume school. We don't just teach them on ICT, we also teach them on some of the facilities we have on ground, the e-resources we have on ground, and how to access them. Okay. So when the COVID-19 came in, it didn't really, what it simply did was it expedited our timeline. Okay. We had to bring them backwards to be able to meet up. But all those things had already been in play.
Okay. Doctor, you are the chairman of the University Online Examination Committee. How was it possible to assess the students online using the ICT?
Yes.
Continuous assessment in my mind.
Okay. Yes, it was very easy because given the background that our students have within the university, most of them were always online to do their researches and also do the assignments. So the students also already had kind of background on how to use ICT efficiently. So when we now adopted a learning platform to assess students, we adopted a system that would allow us to be able to provide all the materials that the student needed, including assignments, including quizzes, and set time frames and scores to those assignments. In fact, it was even easier than the manual processes because all the submissions the student did could be viewed online, could be assessed online, and feedback could be given to the students. Okay. So they can actually see how they perform throughout the entire process.
Was it the same thing for the exams too?
For the exam, it was
just
different.
the continuous assessment?
Yes, we have a different portal for the exams. Okay. For the continuous assessment, the learning management system we used was very efficient in that they allowed serious collaboration through streams, through quizzes, through continuous assessments, and through access to a lot of reading materials. And also we added Zoom to it, so we could have interaction with the students to ask questions. We added Google Meet, so you can interact with the students effectively. In fact, the issue about online learning is not just loading materials. What the VC did before we now did the lockdown was to ensure that there was a proper procedure for getting across between departments, procedure for students to get across to their lecturers and to get across to their departments as well, procedure for the university to get across to Senate to discuss with top management. So we have all the procedures laid out to facilitate everything we're doing. So when we're doing assessment or assignments, using the learning management system that we use, it was very easy. We could give feedbacks, we could get the responses from the students, and we could actually archive the information and use them properly in case any organization like maybe AUC wants to come and find out what we're doing. But on the exam portal, we had a different portal for the exam portal. And that one, the good thing about that exam portal, it is that it is an in-house development that caters specifically to our needs. The lecturers contributed towards it. We set up another subcommittee from each department. We called it departmental nominee that will collaborate with the department and the students to make sure that all what we had to upload on that exam portal, all that we had to review to make sure everything was okay, was in place.
Okay, did you take into consideration the challenges? I'm looking at particularly now the environment where the students had to stay to write the exam, poor electricity, poor internet connectivity, cost of data and all that, while you were developing this data?
It was easy. Because when we used Zoom, for example, many lecturers actually, after having one-on-one interaction with the class of students, they recorded it. So when they recorded it, they could actually upload, and the students can access the lectures offline if they didn't have light as at the time of the lecture, or if they didn't have power as at the time of the lecture. It was all there for them to download and then look at them without spending so much money on data.
Okay. So will you say your unit in particular got some feedbacks from students on challenges they may have encountered during this period?
Oh yes, I think we actually had our lines open almost 12 hours a day. We have different platforms.
When you say your lines, your private lines?
No, the official lines. Our support lines.
Just to be sure.
Yes, yes. Our support lines, we could be reached via phone calls, social media, text messages, emails, and so I can tell you that we get support even 3 or 4 times from a particular student. Not to talk of just each time. So we had our team providing support both for the students and also the staff, because you need to understand that the change wasn't just alone for the students, it was also for the staff. So we provided support, chatting them up via social media platforms, responding to emails and answering calls, and even to parents. We also got inquiries from parents on how to do a couple of things. So.
This does not sound like you didn't encounter any problem that you need to improve on, right?
Oh no, the thing about IT is that there is always room for improvements. There are miles. The important thing is that we met our milestones, but when you get to a point, you want the next point. So yes, there are some things we noticed that we need to improve on, but most of the problems we anticipated, we were able to solve a whole lot of them. Like the issue you mentioned about even the lights and the slow network, we made sure that any system we used was very low on bandwidth. So that we try to use technologies that support very low bandwidth, so that it's faster even when you are using slow network, and even when you have a fast network, it doesn't wipe out your data bank.
Just to add to what he said, you see, this is the key advantage of having a system that is customized specifically for your environment. Our system for exam portal was developed here within the university with all the specifications provided by the lecturers and even the students. So it was easier for us if they had challenges, for us to take care of those challenges. I can give you an example. We have a GST that we have about 500 students.
General studies, right?
General studies, right? About 500 students. And when we were carrying out the exam, each one of them had to upload their essay exams. You can imagine what it would take to upload 500 results, answers from students.
Okay.
This request came, but because this system was in-house developed, and we saw the need to take care of that, it was very easy for us to achieve. Because all we did was just for course by course, we zipped the files. Okay. So the lecturer would just take 1 minute to download materials for almost 400 students, and then now using the channels that we have created, pass it on to the lecturers to mark.
Were your students involved in developing this app you talked about?
It's a portal. Our students, you know, like in every software development that you carry out, you must make sure that the specifications that you give for that software development to meet the requirements of the institution, like in our case, the university. Students contributed through their department, through their exam departmental nominee, and we took, even the lecturers contributed as well. So we took everything on board and tried to make sure that the system will meet the requirements of the university. That is why the system is robust, scalable, expandable.
Okay, we'll stay on that, but we'll take a short break. When we come back, I want us to look at the future of ICT. Is it the way to go, even after pandemic? Well, let's take a break.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ave, Ave Maria, Ave, Ave.
It was a holistic moment for Veritas University Abuja as a new Senate building was commissioned for use by the school. The event began with a holy mass officiated by the Chancellor, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigamu. In his homily, Kaigamu called on the government to support faith-based institutions with grants and budgetary provision. After the mass, the commissioning began.
So, we have gone round, we have seen, everywhere has been blessed. All the forces of evil and darkness have been chased away, and the Lord Jesus has taken control. And His Blessed Mother is...
The Vice Chancellor of the University, Reverend Father Professor Hyacinth Ichoku, in his welcome address stated that the university is currently undergoing infrastructural development, and the school is set to admit her first set of law students in 2020-2021 academic session. Representing the Plateau State Governor, Professor Danladi Atu, in his remarks, commended the Veritas University for upholding its academic excellence since inception. He also encouraged the school not to see education as just a means of getting certificate, but build students to be self-reliant and reduce the armor of unemployment in the country. After the remarks, the tape was cut, signifying the official commissioning of the State of the Act of the Senate building for Veritas University, Abuja. Archbishop Kaigamu blessed the building to make it ready for use. Sandra Iwambe, Veritas University.
Welcome back. In our studio today, we have Engineer Joe Essien, the head of the Department of Computer at Veritas University. He's also the chairman of VUNA Online Exam Committee, and Engineer Obumneme Ofo, who is the head of ICT unit. Gentlemen, you are welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Before we went on break, I had asked you questions that led you to tell me that you developed some portals, you know. So the question now is this becoming a new normal, even after pandemic? Is this the way to go with delivering continuous assessments and lectures by lecturers? Is this going to be the normal way of academic engagement with students, even after the pandemic, particularly in Veritas University?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
See, this COVID only enabled the university to expedite what we had in mind.
Okay.
Abroad, this is the normal way of delivering lectures. Online education is part of the normal classroom visitation to take lectures. It's like a blended kind of learning.
Okay.
So for Veritas, this is going to be a continuous way of learning within the university. And in fact, the BC is looking at improving the facilities we have to make sure that no student will have any excuse when they come back. Okay. Even if their laptops are bad, they can have a lab where they can go and still be able to carry out their online learning. Okay. So it's not something that is going to go away, even amongst the in the country.
Anytime soon.
Anytime soon.
Do you think so?
Yeah, let me support what he's saying. Before now, we've already been operating online. Okay. I mean, course registrations are online.
Okay.
Results are uploaded online. Students see their results online. You see your transcripts, you're a graduate, you see your transcripts online. You know, the process, the only part is the part of the learning management system. Okay. and maybe exams. And even before now, some of our exams, like the GST courses, were already online based in-house. You know, so it has already it has been happening before now.
The pandemic.
Yes, so the pandemic just brought back our timeline, and like he said, it has come to stay. The plan has already been for us to meet with what the Western world is doing.
Okay, let me take a few questions from some of your students who have been watching this program and who sent us some questions. This student says, during the multiple choice examinations, we experienced intermittently that the network was not working well. And then suddenly the exam was stopped and rescheduled, which makes them to think that something had happened at your own end. Was that the case?
No, sir. Absolutely not the case. And in fact, the exam reschedule was done at the request of the students.
Okay.
The students requested for the exam to be rescheduled because a lot of them had not met up with some of the requirements. So the parents came and pleaded that the exams should be rescheduled. And before then, we've already had 6 mock exams. Six that worked perfectly to acquaint the students with the system.
Okay.
And we got all the reviews of how fast the system is, and it worked perfectly. So they're already aware that it worked, and I'm sure during the process of the exams, they're already sure of how well the system is.
Okay. Now, was the portal configured in such a way that the students were not able to preview their answers before they submitted during the continuous assessment, during the multiple choice, during the exams? This is another question from a student. They said they noticed that. Dr. Senime, we should take that.
Yes, the system was designed in such a way that it was very flexible.
Okay.
Students could answer the questions. Any ones they couldn't answer, they could actually skip it.
Okay.
And then when they finished answering the questions, they could review the entire questions and then go back to the ones they could not answer.
Okay.
So that is how the system was designed, and it was deliberate to ensure that any question that they are not able to answer, they don't get stuck there.
Okay.
Because the way you design systems, if you had put that restriction to make sure, to say that you must answer before you go to the next question, many of them would have been stuck halfway without being able to complete. So it was a basic requirement that we ensured that is embedded into the system to allow the students to answer the ones they cannot answer, to skip over the ones they want to think about later on, and then come back and then answer by review before the summit.
How much time?
Sorry, to also make it more user-friendly, we also added color coding in the review questions, so that if we are answering any question you answer, changes color. That way you know the questions you've answered. So we had 3 color codes. One for the questions you've not answered, which is the default once you load the exam. Okay. Then the second is the current question number you are in. It has its own color code, so that you know the particular question you are in. Then the ones you've answered, once you answer that question, it changes color. Okay. That way you actually know, by looking at the review questions, you know how many questions you've not answered. So the ones you've not answered, you can actually go directly to that question and review it and answer. When you're done, you look at the review questions before you finally submit.
Okay, so it wasn't done in such a way that students could have ample time to do research on, like Google, before they come back.
It's time-based. It's time-based. It's time-based. So we put the restriction on the time. Okay. So you don't, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, we don't. And because it's time-based, once it is time, the exam ends.
There is nothing like call a friend.
Okay. You see, any student that would have attempted to do that,
yes.
because we did a comprehensive quality check testing of the system. Any student that would have attempted to call somebody to get support would not have been able to answer more than 10 questions out of 40.
Okay.
Or even browse.
Okay.
Because the time is time-based.
Okay.
It checks the time, counts down the time, and once the time elapses,
it locks you.
It locks the student.
And there's nothing you can do about it. It locks
and
you.
the good thing about the way it works is that even if it locks the student out before the student submitted, the system will automatically accept the answers that he has given.
Okay.
So it's not like, okay, locked out, I didn't submit, so I'm not getting anything. You still get what you answered.
When we say lockout, what we mean is auto-submit.
Okay.
Yes. So when we
at
say
whatever
lockout,
point you are,
yes, it submits
itself.
for you.
Okay.
Yes, for you. Once the time you get to your final time, it submits for you.
Okay.
So some people are worried that, oh, I was just in number 20 and I ran out of time.
Exactly.
And they are worried whether the 20 questions they answered, whether it will count. Yes, it will count. Because each answer you enter, the system records it. So once your time elapses, it submits for you.
How were you able to carry your staff along, particularly the teaching staff, in this delivery, both for the lectures and for the assessments?
Let me answer that.
Right. Yeah, you are the chairman of the
Let me
committee.
answer that, yes.
Sure.
You see, the way we configured our learning platform was such that there were 3 people involved.
Okay.
We had the ICT to monitor every activity of the lecturer. We had the HOD.
Even while they were teaching?
Yes, during the teaching.
Okay.
The ICT was involved, like we have classes for all the courses we are taking. The ICT was involved. Then the head of department was involved, and then the lecturer. So there were 3 aspects or 3 users of the system that could monitor the performances of the lecturers to ensure that they deliver lectures when they're supposed to deliver, to ensure that the students were participating in the classes, to make sure the quality of the materials we're giving them was okay. So everything was strictly controlled, under control during the learning process. So
it was even possible for you to take attendance of the students?
Yes, if you use
during lecturing period?
Yes.
Okay.
You could take attendance of those students who participated.
Okay.
There are 2 ways you could do it. If you're using
Zoom
or Google Meet, for example, to do video conferencing with the students, that tells us the number of students who are participating. Also, you could use Google Form, which you apply. So students can go in there and then just take just a simple question that we just say there, mark your presence in the class. And students can just respond. By the time we finish, we have full attendance, irrespective of any platform that was used.
Okay, was it possible to check a situation where a student could sign in and then go to the market or enter the kitchen and then come back at the end of the class to sign out?
Okay, well, the thing is, you need to also understand how blended learning works.
Yes.
Yes. For some type of classes, especially the kind of Zoom, you require your lecturer to actually to face-to-face with your lecturer, so that you need to be part of the class.
Okay.
But you also have the type of way a lecturer can actually make a video, like in the case of where they had to do practicals and they needed to perform the practicals and record it and upload for the students. The students are now to, watch the practicals, ask questions, want some of the calculations involved. You don't really need the students to actually be there. You can upload it. Maybe the students can now download it at his own time. Okay. Maybe when he has, maybe network was bad, or so those ones, it doesn't matter, even if he does it at his own later time. But the important is they're able to access the media that is required. But during the time where they are meant to have the classes, where they're supposed to have interaction, be it on the stream, be it Zoom, the person actually needs to be there because the lecture is ongoing. Okay. So if he's not there, he won't be able to do it.
Just to add to that, some of the approaches some of the lecturers in many departments applied was they ask questions randomly. Because when a student logs in, if he decides to go to market, his login details will still be there. So lecturer will ask and call his name, answer this question.
Okay. Okay, as we are parting short, in 30 seconds, because we don't have all the time, where do you see Veritas University Abuja in the next 10 years, particularly as it contains ICT delivery? whether it is continuous assessment, lectures, exams?
Okay, right now, I think we're actually on the right path. Okay. What we've been able to achieve in the past couple of months, I don't think, with limited funding, I don't think any of these big universities that have unlimited funding can actually boast of that. So I think we're on the right path, and we've always, it has always been our aim to match with the Western universities, you know, to improve in ranking and also bring out quality students that can match with any other graduate in the world. So I think we'll be able to achieve that within the next 10 years.
Dr. Ese?
Yes, in the next 10 years, I see Veritas University as a very great citadel for education that will to impact knowledge across all fields and disciplines, meeting all international standards and requirements that's supposed to be within a university environment. Right. The VC is working very hard to make sure that this happens. We are getting more faculties, more departments, more infrastructure to make sure this happens. So from our own point of view here, we are very proud for what we have done. And we've also tried to find out what other universities are doing. The public universities, other private universities, and I think the university has done great.
I think that's a good place to stop. I've been talking with Dr. Joe Essien, who is the head of Department of Computer at Veritas University. He's also the chairman of the VUNA Online Exam Committee, as well as Engineer Obumneme Ofo, head of ICT units of Veritas University. It's nice having you, gentlemen. My name is Cyril Ole, your anchor for this week. Thank you for watching.
Thank you very much.
Veritas University of Nigeria, Abuja, established by the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria to provide quality tertiary education. Veritas University is located in the serene environment of Wari Area Council, sharing neighborhood with JAMB and the Nigerian Law School. We offer quality courses in Faculty of Education, Humanities, Natural and Applied Sciences, Management Sciences, Social Sciences, Engineering and Law. We maintain high standard of learning and character formation, ensuring timely graduation for our students at affordable fees. With high digital curriculum, we maintain an e-learning system with uninterrupted online studies. Our environment is secure for learning. Contact Veritas University of Nigeria on the following numbers: